Harmonics, and welcome to another episode of The Future of Farming Today in Innovation in Agriculture. And today I kind of would like to just answer questions. So if you guys are here and watching the show, please definitely put your questions in the comments. I'd love to answer them here for you. I'd like to get some feedback here from you guys on what's important, what are you guys looking for, what would you like more information on? Because sometimes when you're broadcasting, it's kind of like, okay, it's just a one-way communication to the world, and that's fine. But while I'm waiting for people to jump on and start putting your questions in the comments, I did want to just mention a few things here. Again, for those of you guys who don't know, here in the United States, there's a special tax credit program. It's been around for a long time, actually, but not that many people know about it. And when you look at the people who are very wealthy and that kind of stuff, or very large organizations, they're taking advantage of tax incentives and tax credits that most of us don't even know about. And so we kind of made it our mission in the last few weeks when we found out about the R&D tax credit to really inform people and let farmers know, hey, this is a special tax credit. Okay, this is not just I'm taking it off my taxes or I'm deducting an expense or something. Those types of deductions will get you a tax, reduce your tax burden, but they're not tax rebates. They're not part of the R&D tax program. And if you're not claiming it correctly, you could be leaving thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on the table. And I don't want that to happen to any farmer. So if you need more information about the R&D tax credit and you're here in the United States and you're doing trials with innovative products like the crop booster from Harvest Harmonics, then you definitely want to take advantage of the tax credits because the IRS will essentially pay for it. It will essentially take care of you and make sure that you guys um, have what you need here. So hello from Connecticut, says Brett. So thanks so much, Brett. Appreciate the time. Thank you. We love having you here. And Brett, if you have any questions as you're watching this, let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. But today I wanted to talk a little bit more about regenerative farming. And why I want to talk about this is because we're really in a kind of an interesting situation in terms of the agricultural industry. And the situation we're in has to do with the fact that on one hand, we have a system that's relatively workable, right? It's working. In other words, we have farmers that are getting good yields by using chemicals and using standard agronomic processes. And so, from that perspective, it makes sense to keep going, keep doing the same thing we're doing, right? But on the other hand, the other thing you have to look at is that model is not sustainable. And I think most farmers are, if they don't already know about it, they're already thinking with it. And they're trying to figure out how do we go from what we're doing now to what we want to do going forward because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to continue to use chemicals and use and poison the soil. And it's not just about human health either. It's about the plant's health too. If the soil is not healthy, and the more and more soil amendments we use, the less and less healthy and fertile the soil becomes over time. It becomes a challenge. And so you have to ask yourself, well, what do we do about this problem? And how do we handle it? Because a farmer is looking at it from a very practical sense, like, look, I need to be able to make a living. I can't just go and spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 an acre on all these different biological amendments and other things to boost my crops and have my crop yield go down in the meantime. I can't survive 3, 4, 5 years while I'm rebuilding the soil and doing this and going through this process. And a lot of farmers that wanted to do organic farming face the same challenge. You have to have 3 years before you can really transition and call yourself certified organic. Even if you just stopped using chemicals altogether and you said, I'm going to be certified organic, it might take you 3 years. In fact, it does before the government will even try to certify your land. So what do you do in the meantime when you're dropping your yield and you're not getting the benefit of increased crop pricing because of organics? So you're growing organic, but you're not getting credit for it. And I personally would love to see different legislation where they can give you some kind of a premium on transitioning to organic, where you're actually growing organically, but maybe it's going to take a few years for those pesticides to get out of the soil. The good news in all this, though, with the R&D tax credits and also with the transition between from what we call conventional farming or chemical-based farming to regenerative practices and organic practices, biodynamics, all these different things, which are more sustainable agricultural models in the long term. The good news is that with our crop booster, with the Kimanasi Plants crop booster, the product that we've mentioned on the show many times, with our product, we can actually help bridge that gap. So instead of jumping off a cliff, you're able to just continue on and move toward organic and move toward sustainability and regenerative farming practices, rebuild that soil, and do all that without losing yield. That's the key point. If you can do all that without losing yield, you're going to see tremendous benefits because your soil is going to be healthier. Your plants are going to be healthier. They're going to output more fruits and vegetables. The quality of your fruits and vegetables will be higher. The insect and fungal damage will be less. And within 3 to 5 years, you'll be able to take that leap, and now your production really starts to rocket because healthy soil, healthy plants make healthy food, and everybody works and everything is happy. So really, if you're here in the United States, there really is no reason that I can think of why you would not jump on at least doing a trial. Like if you have let's say if you have 10,000 acres and you just want to do a pivot or a couple of pivots, like you're doing corn and soybeans, you want to do a couple hundred acres, great. You do this, you do our program, you follow our exact protocols, and then you get to deduct the entire cost of our system plus any labor and lab tests and anything else on your system. You get to get a dollar for a dollar tax rebate on that. And it's essentially like you're getting it for free. You're getting it for no net cost to you. You pay us up front, and then at the end of that year, you get all your money back anyway. And with our crop booster system, you're going to get a lot more money back in terms of excess yield, reduction of fertilizer and input costs, and other benefits also. So the only real reason that you would ever not do this type of trial is if you honestly believe that our system does not work. And that's a possibility. But hey, we've got case study after case study after case study after case study. We're compiling university results in South America, and now we're trying to get some university studies going this year in the United States. Case study after case study after case study, we're just proving ourselves over and over and over again. So the excuse that, hey, this product sounds strange or it doesn't work is not really a good excuse. It's not really a good justification for not moving forward. And at the end of the day, we already know that this is going to benefit you. In fact, we have our own money back guarantee. If you follow our program and you don't see results, we'll give you your money back anyway. We don't want to take people's money without producing a good result because it's not really ethical for us to do that. And number two, whether we give your money back or not, and the government's going to pay for it anyway. So instead of taking grants and free money and everything that they were doing for the COVID thing, why don't we just take in invest in your farm, invest in your business, and have the IRS pay you back for that investment. That's the best way to move forward, and that's the best way to stay innovative, is pick those things that have the best opportunity for success and utilize the tools that are available. There's no reason why you shouldn't apply for a tax credit. The government takes a lot of money in taxes. They don't always do great things with that tax money, unfortunately, but whether they do good things or not, you can put that back into your business, and we can reinvest in our own country, which is most important. If you can reinvest in our farmland, we can reinvest in the people that are taking care of the people and eating healthy, then of course we're going to win. We got into this business 7 years ago because we wanted to help farmers. We recognized the fact that farmers needed a solution. They didn't need to be lectured. They didn't need to be preached at. They needed actual solutions, right? And so when we saw the Kiminasi plants technology even 7 years ago, which was several versions of our technology ago, we knew that this had the potential to really make that transition easy for farmers. And so have been putting our blood, sweat, and tears in it for the last 6 years. And now that we have a product that's affordable, it's viable, it's producing consistent results, and now, of course, you can trial it with no net cost to you over time. There really is no excuse not to jump on this. So, So I'm just reading a comment here. Brett says, I work for Bronco Wine. Selling wine that's organic is an incredible benefit to the consumer and land. Yes. I wish people knew how drinking organic wine is not only about what you put in your body, it's all about taking care of the land. Absolutely, Brett. 100% agree with you. And that really is true. Like, you're eating conventional food, you're eating all those pesticides. They can't wash all those pesticides off. Some of that's going to stay in your food. And when that interacts in your body, it creates physiological problems, right? When you actually are imbibing or eating food and drinking wine and drinking water that's got toxic chemicals in it, it's going to have a negative effect over time. So yes, eating organic food and drinking organic beverages, and of course drinking good quality water. All that's going to be healthy for you. But on the other side, how something is grown is important, not just for our own physical health, as Brett mentioned here, but also it's tremendously important for our environmental health. We hear in the news and we hear people, the talking heads and the pundits and everybody talking about climate change, and we hear people talking about the environment, and we hear people talking about how we have to eliminate all cars and we have to eliminate burning of fossil fuels. Um, that all that stuff is important, but when we really look at it, farming is a critical part of that too, because the use of chemical fertilizers, the use of chemical pesticides actually causes microbes in the soils to die and go dormant. And those microbes are what are nature's way of pulling nitrogen and carbon in out of the air, or nitrogen compounds and carbon out of the air, so that we reduce those greenhouse gases. We pull it back into the soil where it belongs, and then you're not going to have global warming phenomena. So, um, sustainable, regenerative, and organic farming practices are all a key part of that environmentally. So, it's one thing to put something out there and say, hey, we need to get rid of fossil fuels and everything else, but it's a complete other thing to say, hey, here's an actual solution. Let's look at the actual problem and create an actual solution. And let's not make farmers the bad guy. The farmers are not the bad guy. They're working hard, they're working long hours, and they're trying to feed their family too. So the farmers are not the bad guy in this equation. And I don't even want to make the chemical companies the bad guy, because they provided a service. We needed those chemicals for the long period of time because we didn't have a better solution, right? Now with the Kiminasi crop booster, we have a better solution. Now with biophysics, we have a better solution than the old chemical model. So we're not going to necessarily kick the chemical companies out of business right away, but we're going to provide a better solution. And we hope that farmers take advantage of that, because if farmers don't take advantage of our solution, if nobody buys our product, then we can't stay in business for long. And that's going to really hurt everybody. So, of course, we've been here for 7 years now, actually 8 or 9 years now. We've got an amazing product. We want you guys to use this, but we want to prove ourselves too. We want to prove to you that this technology really is the best thing out there. So take us up on our offer. Let's work it out. Let's work out a trial that makes sense for you, the farmer. Let's work out a trial that makes sense for us. And let's work out a way we can work it out and actually measure and trial things, so that the government's going to take care of you on the back end anyway, with the tax credits, because that is important as well. So whether you're here in the United States and again take advantage of that, or you're somewhere else, we want to work with you. We want to help you become a futuristic farmer, a farmer that's actually innovating and taking care of the soil and taking care of the plants and creating healthy food and drink for everybody else. And of course, we want you guys to make more money in the process. Because at the end of the day, we want to partner with farmers and work together so that you guys can make money and be profitable and feed your family. We can make money and be successful and expand this to get this on more farms. And of course, the people of Earth get to eat healthier food. That's what I call a win-win-win situation. And that's the game I like to play. So if those of you guys out there watching this, either now here live, or if you catch a replay on this, let's work together. Okay, let's work together to make your farm better, and let's work together to make the world a better place, because we can do it if we work together. So send me an email here or give me a call, and let's work together so that you can become part of the future of farming today. Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you again.